Wendy, you muted.
And you muted.
You muted.
I don't know how that happened. Okay, I apologize. I hereby announce that adequate notice and electronic notice of this meeting was provided in a notice dated January 6th, 2021 that was sent to the Asbury Park Press, Two River Times, posted on the bulletin board and on the main access door to Township Hall, and filed in the clerk's office, and posted on the township website, www.holmdeltownship.com. Please be advised that the agenda for tonight's meeting is also available for download on the township website. Members of the public wishing to provide comment at the designated times may do so over the Zoom platform by clicking the raise hand button or by dialing *9 if accessing this meeting by telephone. Public commenters are asked to provide their name and address prior to the comment and shall be limited to 3 minutes. Public comments may not include disruptive conduct such as profanity. Public commenters are reminded that this meeting is being live streamed over the internet, which will be archived on the township's YouTube and Facebook pages, and that the recordings of the public meetings are public records subject to the Open Public Records Act. Mayor Bontempo?
Here.
Ms. Weber?
Here.
Mr. Critelli?
Here.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Here.
Mr. Santana?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Wendy. Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence to honor our troops both home and abroad who work tirelessly to protect us each and every day. Thank you. So good evening, everybody. First on the agenda tonight is a proclamation. One, do we want to let the scouts on?
Yes, if they would raise their hands, we would like to let you into the meeting. Oh, we have Heidi in.
Is it just you, Heidi?
What Wendy is
Yeah, I'm looking, I don't see her.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't see her, Wendy?
No, I don't.
Okay.
If she comes on, we'll get her in.
Okay. So I'd like to read this very special resolution of recognition. Whereas Kira Campuzano and Heidi Kiss are members of Troop 331 of the Scouts BSA in Holmdel, New Jersey. Whereas Kira and Heidi were members of the inaugural class of female Eagle Scouts, whereas Kira and Heidi have done their best, as the Scouts Oath encourages, to do their duty to help others at all times, to remain physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight, and whereas Kira and Heidi have achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest rank attainable in the Scouts BSA, and whereas in fulfilling the requirements for the rank of Eagle Scout, Kira and Heidi have each completed a significant community service project, and whereas Kira created a sitting area outside of Catholic Charities in Red Bank, complete with picnic tables, Adirondack chairs, a small garden, and a birdhouse to provide a safe, outdoor, socially distanced area for therapists to conduct their counseling sessions with clients, and whereas Heidi planted a garden of irises and various flowering shrubs in front of her church, Calvary Baptist in Aberdeen, provide some curb appeal and enhanced experience for churchgoers. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Township Committee of the Township of Holmdel that we congratulate and officially recognize Kyra and Heidi on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout and for their unselfish voluntary service to the community, and be further resolved that we wish Kira and Heidi continued success in all their future endeavors with confidence that will serve as role models for other scouts and continue to make important contributions to society. Signed, Mayor Rick Montellis as Mayor of Holmdel Township. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Well
Thank
done,
you so much.
Heidi.
I
Thank
saw
you.
the announcement that came out. I was very proud of attending so many of these honorary Eagle Scout ceremonies over the years. It's a great accomplishment. I'm so proud of both what Kira and Heidi, what you've been able to accomplish. Really amazing, and I really want to congratulate you and thank you for coming on and joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Here is
Mr. Mayor,
Congratulations.
meeting also. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to add, as an Eagle Scout mom myself, I know exactly what this takes, but even more so for you to be in this inaugural class of female scouts, of which there are nearly 1,000 nationwide, and that's it. So you're really blazing a trail here for other young girls, and congratulations to you for doing that.
Thank you, everyone.
It looks like Shirley is on now too. So congratulations to you also, Shirley.
Correct.
Kira.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Kira, I'm sorry.
guys. Thank you for joining.
Congratulations.
That was cool. That was really cool. Thank you for setting that up, Wendy. Next, the
welcome.
approval of minutes for the February 9, 2021 executive and public sessions. I have a motion.
Move.
Motion.
Oh,
Second.
second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Critelli? Mr. Critelli?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
The minutes have successfully passed. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. So any on agenda items on tonight's agenda, any public comment on agenda items on tonight's agenda?
There are no hands up at this time, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. None being said, I'll close public portion. I'll move to next item, which is resolutions 2021-81 to 2021-90. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second. Second? You got a second?
Yeah, second, I did.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Critelli?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay. Resolutions 2021-81 to 2021-90 have been successfully passed.
Thank you,
Wendy,
Wendy.
could you just note mine is yes with a note?
Thank you, Kathy.
Next, Wendy's introduction of ordinances.
Introduction of ordinance 2021-07, which is an ordinance amending section 2-26.9 titled Special Duty Assignments. Motion would be to adopt on first reading and publish in the Asbury Park Press and set the public hearing for March 23rd, 2021.
Have a motion?
Yeah, motion on that.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Critelli?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 2021-07 will be on the next meeting, March 23rd, for adoption.
Thank you, Wendy. Next is a hearing on ordinance.
The next hearing on ordinance 2021-06, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 13, Parks and Recreational Facilities, Section 13-3, Swim Center, Section 13-3.2, Fees and Charges of the Code of the Township of Holmdel.
Before I open up to the public hearing, any comments, questions on the Township Committee? None. Carrie, open up public hearing for this ordinance, please.
There are no hands up at this time, Mayor.
Thank you, Carrie. I'll close public portion. Do I have a motion?
Move. Motion.
Yep,
Second.
move in second. Roll call?
Mr. Critelli?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-06 has been successfully passed.
Thank you, Wendy. Move right to departments. CFO, can I start with you?
I have nothing specific to report on tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Any questions, comments for our CFO?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Hi, Bill. So if we remember a while back, we discussed we would talk to our financial advisor to see what's the right time or the most we can borrow, given that the interest rates are low for capital improvement projects. Did we get any advice, counsel, in terms of what's the market situation like, and what would be a right time to go for a bond?
Yeah, we did inquire, I believe, beginning of last week. We do have to put together our capital projects for 2021. And we are going to talk to them, and also we're going to get some recommendations as to what we can borrow, and also if it's worth borrowing leasing some items from the Monmouth County Improvement Authority. But we are working on that, and hopefully by next meeting, we'll have an answer.
Yeah, one of the things I want to point out is that the bonds, the treasuries are pretty volatile right now, as you may already know. So time may be of the essence. So it'd be good to see what their thoughts are, given that there's so much market fluctuation in treasury yields. I don't know how it impacts municipal bonds, but it will in some way. So it'd be good to know, because the consensus, at least out there, is that there's going to be, they're selling treasuries now within the next few weeks to a month. It'll reverse. So just wanted to point it out.
Yes, we are keeping on top of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Administrator, any updates from you this evening?
I always have updates, but I fear that if I make any of my updates, I'm going to steal them from other people. So I am happy to answer any questions that you have. I have a feeling that that some of the other reports, and Ben's here tonight too. So I'm here for questions.
We could circle back to you if we miss anything. How's that?
Exactly.
Okay. All good. Counselor, any updates from you?
Hi, good evening, Mayor and members of the committee. No update, but certainly available if you have any questions.
Thank you. Our engineer, Mr. Malak, how are you? Any updates from you this evening?
Hello, Mayor. Good to see you. I do have an update. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, the NJDEP, has adopted new stormwater regulations, and they've put out a model stormwater control ordinance that each town has to adopt. I have reviewed the ordinance. I agree with it. I've made some minor modifications, minor updates to make it fit into the Holmdel ordinance, and I think that the township should adopt the ordinance.
Okay.
So based upon what the engineer set forth, Mayor, the recommendation would be for the committee to introduce the title of the ordinance tonight, and then the ordinance was just getting finalized, so it's kind of a late starter here, but it'll be advertised in accordance with law and set for a public hearing, just like any other ordinance. So the title specifically is an ordinance modifying section 30-157 titled Stormwater Management and Control.
Do we need a motion, Mike?
Correct.
Okay, do a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sorry, Mr. Critelli,
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli,
Yes.
Mr. Santana,
Yes.
Ms. Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo.
Yes.
Okay, that would be ordinance 2021-08, and it will be published in the Asbury Park Press and set the public hearing for March 23rd, 2021.
Thank you. Ben, any other updates from you this evening?
I do one quick update. We have a project on Crawford's Corner Road that is going to be starting up construction in the next week or so. So people, just for the public, be aware that there will be some active construction. There won't be any detours. It'll be lane closure just for some concrete work initially. And the contractor will work with the police department to do his traffic control to their satisfaction.
Thank you. Thank you. But I'll go to run the boards and committees. Deputy Mayor, can I start with you this evening?
Sure. So the Traffic and Bike Safety Committee met last night. We're waiting for a meeting tomorrow with the county engineer, county park planner, our administrator and engineer on the connecting trail. So we focused on the other issues on the committee and making sure that we can make crossings and safe intersections at other parts of town, particularly on the northern end of town. So I'm pleased to report that the county has gone through the process of adopting the resolution to recognize the crosswalk by Indian Hill, and they're going to be putting new school zone 25-mile-an-hour speed limit signs there. So for everyone who just blows by Indian Hill School, not a good idea anymore. And we're actually, the committee is requesting and hoping the township will be able to find room in the capital budget to put flashing crosswalk lights because we do have students who cross back and forth there right in front of the school. So that's one of our recommendations. We're hoping may be forthcoming. And we worked with Officer Manoski, who's doing work on the Route 35 accident and is going to be making requests of the state of things they can do to improve the intersections on Route 35, both at Centerville and at Laurel. So that was kind of Traffic and Bike Safety Committee. And then the Recreation Committee is not meeting till next week, but they've got lots of things rocking and rolling. So I just want to give you some idea of activities coming up. There will be the Hippity Hop Egg Hunt Saturday, April 3rd at Cross Farm for all little bunnies from pre-K through 4th grade in 30 minutes time slots with a maximum of 25 children, and pre-registration is required. There'll be all kinds of goodies and we'll follow COVID protocols. So we hope all the little ones get signed up for that. Our summer rec program is coming back this year and it will be held at Cross Farm Park for the first time from June 28th to August 6th from 9 to noon with staggered drop-off and pickup times. And there'll be 3 two-week sessions to choose from, again, with limited registration. My favorite, the swim club is opening Saturday, May 29th, barring any new restrictions from the state, which, by the way, editorial comment, New Jersey, while decreasing in COVID, is vying for the honor of #1 or #2 in the nation for the highest count of COVID cases. And Monmouth County has been #1. This is not something we want to be #1 on. So I'm really hoping that people can just hang in there another month or two so that we can have these summer programs. But swim club registration will open shortly. And we're going to have outdoor yoga at Bayonet Farm starting on Thursdays from April 15th to May 27th. And save the date for the Mayor's Community Cleanup Day, which I spoke to Troop 331 on Sunday, and they actually asked about this, will be Saturday, April 17th, weather providing. And then the mayor will speak to the senior event. That's it.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Commitment Lucarelli.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing to report at this time, but I am meeting with Victor Stevens tomorrow. And we're going to be going touring the facility and discussing the upcoming spring and summer initiatives and plans that they have in place. And I'll have more to update on the next meeting.
Thank you.
Great.
Commitment Curtelli.
No report at this time.
Thank you. Commitment Santana.
Sure. So the planning board met last Tuesday to discuss the Barclay Square project. It was our second hearing. We finished all the questions to the professionals of the applicant. The next hearing is going to be on the 20th of April. and that's for public comment. So that's the update I have right now.
Okay. Thank you. A couple quick things. First of all, the rec department did a amazing job with our senior Valentine's Day luncheon. That got pushed back, I think twice due to the weather conditions that we had. Held it at the Texas Roadhouse. It was only open to our rec invitees. Everyone was socially distant. Everyone wore masks. We handed out some of our own Holmdel insignia masks. The people that were there, great response, great attendance, and the rec department did a really nice job with the event. And people were very happy to get a chance to get out of the house. And some people, opted just to just grab a lunch and go back home and eat. But it got them out, and it was a very nice event by Bob and Allison and team. So thank you guys for putting that together. The egg hunt that Deputy Mayor mentioned, exciting to get that back on the agenda for this year. I know a lot of people look forward to that every year. I think you said it's the third, so it's literally the day before Easter, right back at Cross Farms Park. We do it every year, so please make sure, like the Deputy Mayor said, you must register. This is for Holmdel residents only, and you must register. Communication will be going out momentarily, but please register so you are in whatever age group the children are in their certain group by ages. Last thing is exciting. I think there was covered in, I think I saw it in the patch this morning, but we received delivery, the township received delivery of the fire truck. Actually, our volunteer firemen and women received the delivery of the fire truck. Very impressive for a novice. I didn't realize how sophisticated these trucks were and are, and it's why the price tag was so expensive. But the fire department was very excited to receive it and to get it. They're getting trained on it. They're getting fully equipped, so it's going to be a great resource for the town, and very excited that it got here, and a great investment back into our community. And I could tell you that Chief Hernando was very excited showing off the truck that day, and I think he actually did a little video talking about what the investment means to our volunteer firemen. So it was a great accomplishment. And so Sharon and team, thank you for following up on that and making sure that the town received delivery of that. That is all I have for this evening. I will roll over to public comment. Wendy, are we going to have a visible timer for public comment now?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So similar format to what we've run in the past. So your name, address. If you have multiple questions, rather than using your time waiting between for answers, you can just rattle them off. Administrator, counselor, etc. We'll take notes, and we'll see what we can answer on the call. If we can't answer, we will certainly follow up and get back to you. Carrie, open for public comment, please.
The first public comment is J and R.
Okay, hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
This is Ralph Blumenthal, 41 Stony Brook Road. I'm a member of the Environmental Commission, although I'm not speaking for the Environmental Commission. A very quick question, and then I have a comment depending on the answer to the question. With regard to the stormwater management, which is a topic the Environmental Commission has been reviewing and discussing since the fall, what ordinance got adopted? Is it a draft that we saw a month ago? Or is this some modified version of that ordinance?
So if that's your only question, that it's a modified version of the ordinance. Ben, you want to touch on?
Yeah, it's the DEP's model ordinance with some updates to conform to the Holmdel ordinance. as well as some recommendations from outside review agencies, some being the Environmental Commission, Monmouth County, and myself.
All right. Without seeing more specifically just what it is was introduced, I can't really comment other than to say, my first comment, the Environmental Commission has been quite concerned about this. The last version of the ordinance we saw had some, from our point of view, flaws, and is definitely short of what we felt was appropriate for Holmdel. We've been seeking to meet with Ben. We had gotten authorization a few days ago for Ben to be able to join the Environmental Commission meeting tomorrow night. We haven't heard yet if that will happen, but we would certainly appreciate a bit more communication about what's happening. I was very surprised to see that this got introduced tonight. So Ben, will you be able to join us tomorrow night?
I will be able to join you tomorrow night.
Good, then we can go into greater detail. If you have a revised draft of that ordinance, we'd appreciate if you could send it to Loretta so she could distribute it to the Environmental Commission meeting before tomorrow night's meeting.
Council, will the ordinance be on our website?
We introduced it by title so that some details can be worked out. I'll certainly work with the engineer if it's available. You know, we could certainly have the clerk post it. It's just a question of it being finalized, but it will definitely be posted and advertised with the required notice for the public hearing.
Thank you. Thank you, Ralph. Carrie, any other public?
The next public comment is Kevin Buchan.
I had to unmute myself, so I lost 2 seconds. I may add those on. I apologize. Kevin Buchan, 26 Randall Road. I have 2 questions, both of which surround youth sports and recreation fields. I know there was money put aside to refurbish the village fields, and we're coming up on lacrosse season. I'm active in both boys and girls. We have, I think it's over 200 people, boys and girls playing, and those fields aren't great, and they were to be addressed, was my understanding. So I want to know what the status of that is. And I also have a question about the lot across the street from the high school. My understanding a while back, you know, when it was election time, was that that parcel of land was acquired by the town, and that we were looking into possibly building a multi-purpose field on that for both football, lacrosse, soccer. We have one turf field in town. We are fighting all the time, every sport, to get our kids on there, especially the month of March. When it rains, it's a very difficult process. And I'm just asking, are we doing anything as a town to better our situation? Because I think the need is there. I've been in town for 7 years, and we've been asking about turf fields. I've been at town committee meetings prior to this many times, and nothing actually ever seems to get done. And I'm asking, is anything getting done both at Village Field and at the field across the street from the high school?
Is that all your questions, Kevin?
Yes, those are my questions.
Okay. So discussion around I think you're referring to a lacrosse field. We have money set aside. We're going to look to build a lacrosse field at Cross Farms Park, township owned property. And more to come on that. I think probably you're going to hear feedback from the rec committee, but there is money allocated for that. Regarding the field across from the high school, that's owned by the county, and no action has been taken on taking over that piece of property to date.
Sharon, can you enlighten the public as to where that stands on that county park? Because I announced that when I was mayor in 2018, and there was a lot of work done in 2019, and then it fell off the rails. So where does that actually stand?
I have to refresh my memory. I haven't looked at that in a while. There were some issues in terms of green acres and what could be used on that in that space and what couldn't. So with COVID and 2020, it kind of died down because of some of these green acres issues. I can get you more information on what that was. I just don't remember off the top of my head. It hasn't been discussed in a while. So I can get you more information on what the concerns were. And from my recollection, it wasn't practical to turn that space into a field, either because of legal reasons or engineering.
That's not accurate. I don't believe that's accurate. The committee in 18 and 19 invested money to do a, I guess we'll say, a rendering of what could actually be built there. And if I remember correctly, and you're right, it's been a year since we've talked about this, if not longer. I know that there's a multi-purpose turf field can be built according to Green Acres regulations, and there's enough room there with the 300-foot buffer, if my memory is correct. But what we couldn't build there is we couldn't build any structures there like bathrooms or arenas or rec centers. So to answer the gentleman's question, the property is still usable to build outdoor recreation facilities. And I had hoped that we would be able to build a multi-purpose turf field there at some point in time. I think the question becomes, are we going to execute on the trade with the county? Because the county put other restrictions, not restrictions, but requirements. They were going to take property back at Cross Farms and add it to their park system, which currently is not protected or restricted. So there's a lot going on there. And I think it's beneficial for this committee to review that, because I still believe that that would be a viable transaction. And there's a lot of benefits to Holmdel Township as to how we could acquire a centerpiece piece of property in town and preserve hundreds of acres in it, you know, that's not restricted today across Farms Park, as well as some property on Middletown Road. So let's bring that back to the forefront, and maybe you can give us a report on it next week, in 2 weeks.
Sure.
Thank you.
Anybody else, public comment?
The next public comment is Jay Yanello.
Jay Yanello, 18 Ladwood Drive. Can we go back to this stormwater drainage thing that's getting teed up? I know a while back, a year or so ago, there was discussion about not being able to drain some pumps or whatever to the curb. And I know that was getting teed up, and there was a lot of outrage in the community because many developments will just become swamps, their properties. I know out by us, that would be a massive problem. So does this have to do with that?
No.
Okay, good. Thank you. Second of all, as far as my recollection of the turf field or multi-purpose field across from the high school, I think part of the challenge was maybe one of those bridges that needed to go above the road or something to get people safely back and forth. I don't know, but Ms. Roundtree, that you may want to look into what's required actually, the whole project to get that done. My last question is about Bell Works. Given everything going on with COVID, given, you know, the economy, this, that, do we know how tenant, you know, rates are going, how things are going there? Is everything sound there as far as you know? Do we have any update how revenues are looking from there? Is everything just fine there? Thank you.
Sean, you want to touch on Bell?
Sure. And in terms of the space across from the school, again, it has been a while since I looked at that, so I will look at all aspects of that. As it relates to Bell Works, we do require an audit from them. We should be getting that audit bill in the next month or two. So that we don't know what type of rent relief they may have given their tenants as a result of COVID. So we have to really wait until we get those financial statements. Something to also just keep in mind, this year might be just as hard on Bell Works as last year, if not harder, as companies look to possibly downsize office space, realizing that people can work from home. They might not completely leave office space, but they might downsize. I do know that there were some potential tenants who no longer are taking space there. So while I don't have any accurate, I can't give any numbers at this point, we are carefully watching what happens at that facility to see where it puts us as a township and in terms of pilot payment that we receive.
I think to piggyback on what Sharon is saying, I know the developer is working with other businesses or other entities that are potentially interested in coming into the building or pursuing some space in the future. So there's a lot of moving parts with this, and I don't think we're going to get a good representation until Bill receives the audit, which we're due, and I guess in the May timeframe, Bill.
It's a calendar year end. We should get it usually sometime mid-April to mid-May. We get the audit from them.
Okay. So we'll have more information.
I can add something to that, Mayor, that I spoke to Ralph Zucker coincidentally today. I was over there for lunch and I bumped into Ralph. And Jay, for your benefit, he was cautiously optimistic that things are coming back pretty nicely. He expects iSIMS back in the building this summer, and he's hoping that Guardian will follow quickly after that. So I think that it could have been a lot worse when you see what's going on in some of the retail establishments and some of the inner cities. I think we'll be pleasantly surprised that Bellworks will eventually be humming along again pretty quickly. Thank you.
Gary?
There are no other hands up this time, Mayor.
Okay. Seeing no other hands up, we can close public comment, and we could make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Ooh, second.
Favor? Aye.
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 Good night, guys.
Aye.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.